Welcome to this lecture. So previously we have integrated or used the APIs of ChatGPT inside our React Native application. So we are able to pass questions to our ChatGPT models and get the response. And now in this lecture we will start using the image generation feature of DALLE model. And to do that we need to open the documentation page, and there you will see this section images, so just click on it. So here we got the instructions that how we can use the image generation feature of DALLE model inside our React Native application for generating images. So basically from our application we are going to pass the detail or the type of image that user want to generate. Like in this case user want a picture of a cute baby sea otter. So he passed this detail to the DALLE model and it generated the image, and that image URL is present here. So now inside our application we need to hit this API for generating images, and we will further look at this detail in a moment. But for now inside our application we are going to add the code for hitting that API. So in order to do that we need to make the changes inside our handle button click, but instead we will make a copy of this handle button click. So just copy this code and paste this below. After that change this handle button click to generate images. And after doing that inside our application GUI we are going to call this generate images instead of this handle button click, and that's it. So for now just to test the image generation feature we are making this change, but in future we are going to add the functionality for both generating text responses or generating images inside our chatbot application. But for now just to test the image generation feature we are making these changes. So now after making these changes here inside this generate images function we need to change the URL, and the reason is for generating images we need to use this particular URL. So just copy this URL and paste it here. So I am going to replace it, and that's it. So after changing the URL the next change is inside the parameters. So in the header we don't need to make any change, but in the body we need to make few changes. And the first change is we need to use this prompt key for passing the detail of the image. So here inside our project we are again going to change this messages to prompt, and here instead of this object we are simply going to pass this input messages, and that's it. And after doing that we can remove this model because we don't need to specify it. And after making these changes open the documentation page, and there you can see now apart from this prompt we got two more parameters. And here the first parameter is n, and this is basically the number of images we want to generate. So in the prompt we will pass the detail that what type of image we want, and after that using this n parameter we are specifying that generate two different images of this detail. Similarly the maximum value of this n is 10 and the minimum value is 1. So it means that using this API you can generate maximum 10 images at a single time. Similarly after this n parameter we got this size parameter, and here we are specifying the size of image that we want to generate. So we basically got three different options. So you can generate an image of size 256 or 512 or 1024. So whatever size you want to use you can specify it using this size parameter. So now after looking at them just copy it and open our application, and here below this prompt we are going to paste them. So after pasting them here open the documentation page, and here the next step is looking at the response format. So as previously we were getting the response using the choices array, but now in case of images we are getting this JSON object, and inside it we got the array with the name data, and inside this array we got the objects equal to the size of this n parameter. So if we are generating only one image then this data array will gonna contain only one object, And if we are generating 10 images, then it will gonna contain 10 objects. And inside each object, we got this URL property which contains the URL of the image. So now inside our application, for accessing the URL of the image, we need to change this choices to data. And after that, we need to specify the key URL here. Similarly, you can remove this content from here. Similarly, we need to do the same for this set output message because we want to show the URL on screen. So here we are going to paste it, and that's it. So now after doing that, when we are going to run the application again, and you are going to type a description like you want to get an image of a red car and you will send it, you will get the URL of the image printed on screen and also in the console. And after getting that URL, we can also open the image using that URL. So in order to test the application, let's save the file. And now let's start testing this application. So here we are going to generate an image of a red car. So generate. So now after typing this query, let's click on the send button and wait for the response. And there you can see we got the response here, and this is basically the URL of the image that our model generated. And we also got this URL in the console. So there you can see the URL of the image, and when we are going to click on it, you will see this option for follow link, and when you will click on it, it will gonna open the image inside browser. And there you can see it generated this red car image here. Similarly, you can test this application by providing more detail here. Like we can provide generate image of a sunset on a lake with boat and ship. So after typing this details, although it's a random detail, let's click on the send button and see whether we got the relevant image or not. And there you can see again we got the URL of the image, so we are going to open this image. And there you can see it generated a similar image here. Although the image is not exactly the same that we wanted to generate, but we got the scene of sunset with a boat in the lake. So our application is working correctly and we are able to generate images here. And later inside this course, we are further going to explore this feature and display the generated images on screen. And there we are also going to handle the case for generating multiple images.